2020 Subaru Outback, when I opened the door, sat in here for the first time, I had one word: whoa! Called my husband and was like, you gotta check this thing out. Seats are so comfortable, soft, supportive, heated and ventilated. Color and overall design is very similar to our own personal Volvo, but I have to say these seats are more plush. And when you go for a drive, if you like a good padded wheel, this is for you. Not as billowy as the BMW X5 or X7 that we tested, but it's definitely gonna get your attention, and it's also heated. There's some cool little rubberized trays here and over here. And if you watched our video last week, you saw Andie got a special package in the mail. How you doing back there, girl? They also included the Sleepy Pod 3-way harness. Now, as you know, Andie rides in her bed because she's actually afraid to sit in a second row seat. She's been like that since a small puppy, so I had to use her stunt double for this. This is actually pretty cool because once you fit it to your pet, you can link it to the seat and they're supposed to be able to sit up or lay down comfortably. Now getting back to this. Now one of the most obvious changes about this 2020 Outback is this infotainment, Subaru Starlink 11.6-inch touchscreen. Off the bat, I feel this interface is intuitive because the design looks more like the icons on a smartphone. Now this also has smartphone integration, and when you tap on it, I just want to make a note, it doesn't cover the whole screen, it's just this middle section. So if you use something like Waze, your map isn't going to be that big. However, if you use the car's navigation, you have a much bigger map. And while poking around, I found some pretty cool things. If you want to see your safety systems, check this out. You could pick a driver profile, put a custom name in here. We'll use Andie Dog because Andie the lab was too long. And I can even select a paw icon. How cool is that? Input special dates, so for all you men out there, no excuses anymore. You can't forget about your anniversary, your wife's birthday. So you can thank Subaru for that one. Front view camera. Love that you can see what's in front as you're rolling forward or if you're pulling into a spot and you don't want to hit the curb. But you know what I was also thinking? A lot of times when I'm driving around my neighborhood, I see cats sleeping under cars. So I imagine it would be very helpful to know whether or not the neighbor's cat is under your vehicle. God forbid, can you imagine you ran over their cat while you're pulling out? I gotta tell my friend about this because he's always talking about his cat and how he loves cats and how cats are better than dogs. Please. So Savage Geese, you get the Outback, you don't ever have to worry about running over your beloved cat. The climate control buttons, you do have hard buttons to control the temperature, but everything else is gonna be a touch screen, so you're gonna have to get used to tapping. I find it a little cumbersome, especially if you have your heated or ventilated seat on and you wanna turn it off. You have to tap it like 3 times, burp, 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 to get it off. I much prefer a little but not a deal breaker, just something you gotta get used to. This has a dual zone climate, so you can't actually control the temperature back there. You do it from here. So let's jack up this AC and see what it's like back there. Yes, they're powerful, but they're only in the center, not on the sides or in the rear. And when it's really hot out, when you close all the vents up front to get more air for your fur kid back there, you definitely get a little bit of a whistle. 60-40 split, and while there is a medium-size-ish hump in the center, my feet fit. Plenty of legroom on the sides. Overall passenger volume has increased by 1 cubic foot in this Outback. Nice size armrests, traditional storage in the seat back and doors. But because of this configuration and the fact that I want Andie to see to the front, I have to plop down this seat, so I lose out on this one, but at least when they're down, they go fully flat. Now check out that rear space. New feature, hands-free. Obviously, a ton of space for a large dog and her stuff, but truth be told, the width and the volume both increased in this 2020. This Outback plastic mat is great when toting around a fur kid, but if you really want to make this thing dog-proof, you gotta get the second row seat back protectors to match. Now to some that may seem a little unnecessary, but trust me, the last thing you want is dog hair embedded in the carpet that you gotta pick out. Why do that when you can have an easy to wipe down surface? Plus, it's gonna keep things smelling much nicer. Even if you groom your dog often, we all know those embedded hairs start to stink over time. Sorry, Andie, your dog hairs do stink. I still love you, girl. Now the spare tire pretty much takes up most of the underfloor space, but at least you can store that cargo cover. And when your hands are full and the cargo cover's in place, look, you can just smack it and it moves out of your way. As you can see, Andie looks pretty comfortable back here, and that remains true on the road too. So when you start this thing up, you get scanned, not scammed, but scanned, the driver monitoring system. It kind of reminds me of that movie Big Hero 6.
I will scan you now. Scan complete.
This car is so smart. If you start driving distracted, you take your eyes off the road, it's gonna beep at you, send you a message right here in the instrument cluster. It even will detect signs of fatigue. Now, this also has the EyeSight Driver Assist, which is like your extra set of eyes on the road. I demoed it in our Ascent video. It gives you a ton of alerts. So if you honestly have children that are new drivers and you're worried about them going off on their own, it's as if you're kind of still sitting next to them, coaching them along the way. But you know what? I hate to break this to you, Subaru, but when I was a teenager and learning how to drive, I kind of had a very antiquated version of this. It consisted of one individual. Her name was Mom. Slow down! Keep your eyes on the road! Brake! I can't do this. Thanks, Mom. I'm a great driver now. And while this has a 2.4-liter turbocharged boxer engine, it's honestly one of the fastest Subarus I've ever driven. 0 to 60, it feels fast to me, plus this has symmetrical all-wheel drive. What does that mean? Well, the entire system lies along the center line of the vehicle. It balances the weight between the two sides, and you can take this thing on the trails. It's got 7.8-inch ground clearance. Right, Andie? And you have a sunroof in here, which Andie loves riding around with all the windows down. All right, Miss Andie, you've been working real hard with this video. Should we tell them? Our top 5 favorite features are 1, the spacious rear. And because this SUV is lower to the ground than others, it is that much safer loading a big fur kid in and out. 2, the easy to open tailgate. It does work on most tries. 3, nighttime visibility, especially when you flick on those high beams. 4, power folding side mirrors, and I love the two-tone color. And 5, driving comfort, not just from a seating standpoint, but safety and stability. Big thanks to Subaru for letting us lab test this 2020 Outback for the week. I think we already know the answer, but Andie, is it lab approved? This is totally lab approved. Subscribe for more, follow Andie on Instagram to see more photos of this Outback all week, and we will see you next time. Bye!